Tonight on Life on the Rock, we have Bishop Robert Baker and Albino Aragno discussing Cenacolo. We'll see a video about Cenacolo and much more. Well, welcome to Life on the Rock. Tonight, our guest is Bishop Robert Baker of the Diocese of Birmingham and Albino Aragno, and they'll be speaking to us about Community Cenacolo. This is a movement, a community largely for young people, but people coming to look to live community life, to experience healing, intense time of prayer, work, and simplicity of life. Sometimes they're addicted to alcohol or drugs, but not necessarily. But they've come to kind of be renewed and restored.
All right. We now go to a video from Community Cenacolo.
I feel love too strong to stay within these walls. I want to let go and follow my Christ. Is there anything more beautiful than this simple home? The love that's lived inside these walls, bringing life into the world. I feel the call to be a bride, a wife, a mother. But I believe in love much bigger than my own. Make me yours, I know I'll never be alone. And with our arms together, we can reach the whole world. From the streets to the stars, your love, it only goes as far as our surrender. Hi, my name's Carrie, and for me, before coming to community, I was completely lost. I've been using drugs. I was a heroin addict, and I really didn't have any hope for my life. I ended up wanting to kill myself and wanting to just end my life because I had absolutely no hope that anything would change. And I found the community really by the grace of God, because I didn't come from a Catholic home. And entering the community for me was just like it's just so filled with love, because our life is based in prayer, work and friendship, but mostly prayer and in God. And I don't know, I just found so much hope through really the people around me, because through them, Jesus would shine through them. I didn't know it was Jesus at the time, but and then over time, little by little, I started to change, and I knew that they had something different that I didn't have.
Your Excellency, Bishop Baker and Albino, welcome to Life on the Rock. You're here to speak a little bit about Cenacolo. And for those who don't know, but what is Cenacolo?
Well, it's a community founded by this woman, Mother Elvira back about 35 years ago. Albino, close to that?
Yeah, 36 years ago.
36 years ago. I met her about 25 years ago, so her community had already been going. I was looking for something like this when I was doing a sabbatical in Rome, Italy. I'd heard the Italian church had a lot of things going, and this was one of the special ones. And so I asked if she would send a couple men to help a community we already got going in St. Augustine that would work with the homeless, but in a Catholic context. And eventually she sent 2 men to Florida, to St. Augustine area, the house there, Our Lady of Hope community. And then eventually I said, Mother Elvira, you know what you're doing, we don't. And we gave her the whole program. And then eventually Albino and 6 other men came and really established that that house there.
Okay.
And that was like, so 25 years ago plus. And now there are about 70 communities she has throughout the world.
Wow. Since 1983?
So that, she started about the same time EWTN did.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did Mother Elvira, what inspired her to work with those struggling with addictions?
Well, first of all, she also grew up in a poor family, and also having also her dad that was struggling with alcohol.
Oh, okay.
And she always said that my first teacher was my own father.
Yeah.
In a way, growing up with that, living the life, but also very loving family and caring for each other. She was one of 7. So she had a difficult childhood, you know. There was poverty. This was after World War II. It was like so they lived the life very from the south coming to the north,
Okay.
you know. And then she's 19 years old, went to the convent, joined the sister Santa Giovanna Antida, and was over there. But something inside was already burning,
Yeah.
you know. And she was a good sister, you know, like working in a convent. Also, she was a cook. She was also Mother Superior in one kindergarten, you know, like with other sisters. You know. She did all the responsibility in a convent as a sister. And then at one point there was burning, the desire. She saw the youth.
Yeah.
They were struggling in Italy. But there was a desire inside of her, something that was burning. It was behind also her own strength, you know.
Yeah.
And the sister were always telling her, so you're not competent, you know. Even when she went to the Mother Superior, they were, what do you know? You never study, you don't know the psychology, because Mother Elvira did also in 3rd grade. But, you know, something was, the fire was there. Until one day she found an old house in Saluzzo, North Italy, and that was the beginning. That was given to her abandoned house.
Wow. Because I read through her words, she said, I'm in love with life, but I'm also in love with love.
Yeah.
How would you describe her charity?
In love with love means loving what you do completely. Love that is behind your own strength. Caring for the others more than what you care about yourself. And that's also the spirit of Comunità Cenacolo.
Yeah.
It's like caring for the people that are coming in. No big, we don't make them pay. No, it's not a business. But also we care for the people, and we love the people that are coming. So that's because Mother Elvira always said that the people that are using drugs, they are sick for love. Sono malati di amore. You know, they're sick, they're sick for, they won't have the love, or they don't love each other, you don't love yourself, you don't care anymore about yourself. And then in community, through faith, through embracing your own life, and then you love your life, you love who you are, and then you begin to love also the other around you.
Okay. Bishop, sorry.
I was just going to add to that the original title of the book in Italian, it's been out for, I suppose, since 2006 or so, called L'Abbraccio. That's the Italian word for 2013. And it has Mother Elvira embracing like this.
Oh, okay.
Herself. Albino can explain this better than me a little bit, just what that
She always said, you wake up in the morning, you look at yourself in the mirror, you're sleepy. You look at yourself. Sometimes you look at yourself, you find all the defects that you can have, like I lost my hair, But you need to learn how to embrace your life. But not like in a selfish way, or ego, But in a way, love your own self as you are. Embrace yourself for who you are, without try to transform your own self or becoming somebody else. And then abbraccia la tua vita, Lord, and then you embrace also the life of the others.
But it's the Eucharist that is the center of their community, and that's her gift was experiencing the Eucharist daily as a religious sister, as you do, and being transformed by the Eucharist to be able to do that. Oh, wow. So the title Cenacolo really comes from that Cenacolo, the upper room, the Last Supper room, and that title was suggested to her by priests after she got going. But it symbolizes that radical, drastic change that comes from people.
Also, if you think about, for me, also my past, when you clean yourself up, you come in community, you don't use anymore any drugs, any medications, any of it. but you know, you're coming from a broken life. And you don't love yourself. You don't care about yourself, you know. So you're broken, completely broken. So that is like the rebuilding of a new person. So you need to destroy the old person and rebuild a new person.
It's a constant conversion.
Is a constant conversion and require a lot of healing, you know.
It does,
and the healing comes from God, you know, from the Eucharist, from the prayer, but also the healing comes also from actions, you know, like serving. You don't think about your own self, but also think about the others. You work with somebody else, learning, you know, a responsibility, you know, to becoming a man. The man you're completely lost.
And Albino is an example of that in his own life.
Yeah, been clean
And
for 30 years.
He goes to Mass every day. The Eucharist is still the power and force of his life.
All right. We have to go to a short break here, but when we get back, I want to get into the topic of Our Lady of Hope. Bishop Baker, what is the connection between Our Lady of Hope and Cenacolo?
Originally, we started with a community west of St. Augustine, and we were helped by St. Vincent de Paul Society, and we called that the St. Vincent de Paul Farm. But I wanted Our Lady of Hope in there because we had prayed to her for about a year.
Okay.
We knew we were tackling something we didn't know anything about, and that was helping get the homeless off the street.
Okay.
Ecumenically, we'd worked with other churches with soup kitchen shelters, but now we tried to move into a program that would help get people off the streets. That was a challenge, and I wanted Our Lady of Hope in the picture.
Okay.
I had a great devotion to her. Eventually I picked as my motto, rejoicing in hope, for my episcopacy, Romans 12:12. Rejoice in hope, be patient in trial, persevere in prayer. We prayed to her, and it opened the door. And I can say this very confidently: if you're tackling anything like this, trying to get a program started, you better pray hard, because these kind of programs are not welcomed in our country anywhere. So Our Lady of Hope opened that door. Eventually, we started on our own, and I met Mother Elvira in Italy about 26 years ago, brought her, and then we gave her that community. And so that's the name of that community, but there are now 2 other men's communities and 1 women's that have other names. Here in Hanceville, it's Our Lady of Joyful Hope, which adds the word joy to hope.
Oh, good. And how has divine providence played into the growth of Cenacolo?
So when I first met Mother Elvira, and brought the community, I had planned that we had a nursery lined up with an ornamental nursery on the property with a permit and license, that we'd be able to raise money for the community. And one of the first members said to Bishop Baker, well, it was then Father Baker, no way that we'll be able to sell plants. Mother Elvira doesn't allow us to have money in our hands or deal with the public in that kind of way, in a business way. So I said to him, well, how are you going to survive with this community? I mean, we bishops, we priests, we always plan what we're going to do. And he said, well, divine providence, Father. And I said, what's divine providence? And he said, you'll find out. And so that was my introduction. And so part of it is they don't buy food. So it comes by people that bring it. That lowers the cost of the upkeep of everything. They have people like him and others that work without pay or not working for pay. So divine providence is allowing God to take care of things for you. But I learned a lot about that, not from textbooks, but from this lady right here. So she wrote the book on divine providence.
I also know up in Hanceville they have a huge garden. You know, you gotta have good soil and you gotta have good rain, you know, to make that work. And but I also wanted to know a little bit inside of the life inside of Cenacolo. What is the formation like for these?
Formation is like the basics of Comunità Cenacolo is a simple life, prayer, working, living together, friendship, simplicity. So those are the basics, you know. Prayer, feed the soul, and feels feel all the emptiness that we have, because we come empty, we come broken, we come completely lost, we come without no hope, no confidence in our own self, because the drugs or the drinking or whatever life brought us in community, and so we are completely lost. So prayers is the beginning of the day. Then work the dignity of get your hands dirty, the dignity of to grow a plant and see it coming up, the dignity to do something well, you know, because Mother Elvira was a person that was expecting and demanding to do what is right. I saw many times coming, the wall is crooked. You're gonna take it down and you rebuild it. Learn to do what is right and do it well, and get it. And then a relationship, the sense of community. You are not alone. We live in a lonely society, pretty much connected. So in community, you are completely disconnected. There is no any device. You are relating. You're sitting at the table, lunch, everybody's sitting down, sharing dialogue, you know, and also you work 2 by 2, you're never alone. You're always with somebody else. Even when you come in, you have your guardian angel, the person that is next to you. All day long follows you around. You feel like, whoa. Instead, it's good because learning how to relating to a relationship and friendship. You build friendship because you live 24 hours a day together. So, and you know, and those are, you know, something that the sense, the strength of the community is the community life. The strength of Cenacolo is our life together.
Mother Elvira sets the bar very high, as you can see.
Yeah.
And I compare her to Coach Saban, you know, in terms of, you know, there are two kinds of pain in life: the pain caused by discipline, pain caused by disappointment. Take your pick. And so she says you'll do the discipline. But we didn't think originally, Albino and I, after a while, came to the conclusion it's not going to work in America because people came and went. And he went to Mother Elvira and said that. And she says, if one person stays, you're staying. You guys, meaning the 7 Italians. I have to say that's the difference between a saint and me, is somebody that has a confidence in personalities and people, and in our American youth too, that they have the potential, because I didn't have that. At a certain point, we didn't have it. I thought, you know, it's just too much for America. It wasn't, and she knew it intuitively. So
Mother Elvira always never said it's never too much for us to ask to a person. To do, it's never too much. You demand, they respond. Sometimes we are afraid to ask.
She says, I don't ask for much, I ask for everything.
So
that's Elvira. And she had all these insights, and I think, you know, if you pray, if the Eucharist is the center of your life, then you begin to have these kind of intuitions.
We really want to invite people to come to Cenacolo because you can rediscover the gift of life. You rediscover also your own gift. We see how talented the young people are because you clean them up, you put in a safe environment, and also with under the sun of the Blessed Sacrament, under the light that you receive in the chapel, they are capable to do incredible things. You know, it could be manual. We just build a beautiful house ourselves, bigger than who we are. And none of us was a professional. And we've done it, you know, we've done it through the sacrifice, to discussion, to sharing, condivide ideas, you know, and also everything well done, because no luxury, but well done. You know, learning how to do stuff well.
I wish we had more time, but Albino, Bishop Baker, thank you for being on Life on the Rock.
A blessing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, it's one of our great joys, our community. We get to help out at Cenacolo a little bit. We offer Mass there once or twice a week sometimes. Every week we're there offering Mass. And it's a great blessing for us to see their simplicity of life, their witness, to relying on divine providence, their prayer, their fraternity. And there's Bishop Baker brought them to Hansville, so it's very close to the shrine. So if you ever come to visit, you can always go up there, and they welcome you to give you a tour of their community.
And even Cenacolo, they work, you know, the property, but they also do a lot at the shrine. A lot of times you'll see them working out there, and they willingly and gladly, you know, help and assist. But I think also Albino really laid out just foundations that they, you know, build their life on, of prayer, of work, community, of friendship, and just simplicity. And every time we go over there, you really see that. I've always been really encouraged because Cenacolo is not an easy life, but it's a very active life. It's a very rewarding life. You really do see how these guys grow over time, you know, as they live in community.
Right. No AC in
Oh,
Alabama
you're washing your
summers.
hands by clothes. Or,
Right. But our challenge, what really struck me this week, was that line they said to embrace your life and the life of others. That it is a place of healing, this simple life, this prayerful life, this friendship that's fostered. You learn to appreciate your life, you know, God's blessings, to discover your own gifts, how you can use that in service of others. They live that in an intense way in Cenacolo. And to embrace our own life, the goodness there, and that allows us to go out and to embrace the life of others, to respect other people's gifts, to recognize their value once we recognize our own.
I think prayer is the key. Albino said that a number of times, but it's not just any prayer, but it's Eucharistic adoration, that their whole life revolves around Eucharistic adoration. I think just as a Catholic in general, that's how our life should be, is revolving around the Eucharist. So
Yeah, they are a great witness. So that's our challenge. Embrace your life and the life of others. Thank God for the good things, the gifts that you have, and use them for His honor and glory in service of others. We'll send you back out into that vineyard. May our Heavenly Father shine His face upon you. May He give you His peace. May Almighty God bless you, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. We'll see you next week on Life on the Rock.
You are my rock, and I'll trust in you. You are my strength, and I'll have faith. Only you know my pain within me every day. Lord, you are God, and I need you to stay. I have my hope in you. You are the only safe place to go. And when I need you, you'll always be there. And when I fall, you pick me up again. And you are my rock, and I'll trust in you. And you are my strength, and I'll have faith. And only you know my pain within me every day. Lord, you are God, and I need you to stay, 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 stay with me till I fall asleep tonight. Stay, stay, stay with me, hold me tight, hold me tight. 'Cause you are my rock, and I'll trust in you. And you are my strength, and I'll have faith. And only you know my pain within me every day. And Lord, you are God, and I need you to stay. I have my hope is in you. You are my God. You are the only safe place to go. And when I need you, will always be right there. And when I fall down, you will pick me up again. I fall right You are God, and I need you to stay.